Two. Oh, hey, now, welcome back. It is Monday again. Monday keeps coming rolling around, and here we are. So, I think the audio is working out great. Okay, welcome to Talkstock. You know what? We've been trying to figure out how we should call this. It happens on Mondays. Yeah, we got the Kawartha Freedom Group, we got the Kawartha Taxpayers Association, and we have the Kawartha First Nation. And I'm Deputy Chief Brother Steve as your host for the evening. All right, so first of all, let's start off with our routine. What we need to be doing is we open up with blowing the shofar. Now, knowing about the shofar, we open up at war. When we start a war, or actually going back and stopping the enemy or hitting the enemy face on, we do have a blowhorn called the shofar that does this, just like the time of Jericho. All right, the walls didn't come down until the people shouted, so we shouted victory. All right, so I'm gonna blow the shofar. All right, here we are. Victory! All right, so here we are. All right, and yeah, victory is ours. All right, well, first of all, we'll give a prayer and open up prayer for the evening. All right, dear Father, we praise your holy name, the name Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. We want to thank you. We want to ask you to come in here and to bring the words that is needed so we can be the light to those who are seeking the truth and looking for understanding, as we will give utterance, and let it be your words, not of our own, and it's the spirit of truth, and that's what we bring in, the spirit of truth. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. Hallelujah. All right. Hey, so now, hold on a second. I'm just going to do it. All right, we have to do our homework here. All right, so we've had some interesting happenings of this week. Now, this week, you know what? There's going to be haters. Once you walk towards the truth, you're going to get resistance. You're trying. It's a spiritual warfare. It is definitely a warfare. It's a war against truth, and falsehoods come in play. Now, there's been allegations. There's been words sent out. You know what? We receive that. You know, Satan doesn't go after people, or the devil doesn't go after people that are already his. So we are the children of light. So they're going to try and stop that, and we're going to bring in truth. So even knowing that they're going after us, they go after you. And you know, how many of you out there had, you know, your family's against you? You know, you walk in and you say, hey, you know what, I'm not in for these vaccinations, okay? And next thing you know, they're like, oh, no, you got a vaccine. Oh, what are you doing? No, stay away from me. You don't have a mask. Oh, come on. You know what? So, you know what? You get that, right? So, yeah. So that's what it is. Like, there is definitely something happening. We're out there and we talk to a lot of people. Now, he's got some signs all over his vehicle, and it's awesome. It's getting the word out, right? You know what? You got flags? Get it on back in your car and let people know. Don't just go around like everyone else. And you know what? I have constantly put flags up. I have like a big 3x5 in the back of a small vehicle. I got like one of those, it's one of those extended beds you put on like in a pickup truck that you can get the wood on, and so instead of having a trailer, you have one of these. Well, instead of having it extended with a little L shape, I have the L shape at the bottom. I go straight up and I put a little extender and I have it for my flag. So, and you know what? I've been getting a lot of thumbs up, a lot of honking, but Bill, Chief Denby, he's been going in front of City Hall and just letting them have it. People are coming out, seeing what he has all over his truck. You know, we're going after the city. Actually, we're going after them at their personal capacity, because we wouldn't want to be suing our own, because we are the city. You know, like there are our employees. We hire these guys. Supposedly they were elected. I really don't believe that. It's definitely a selection. But the thing is that, you know what? We have to go out there. Actually, the chief was out there on Sunday, yesterday, at Costco. What a good day to do it. You go to Costco at a great time of the day, and even also on Friday when they have those what do you those the hors d'oeuvres. You know, the people go out there and they want to get a Costco, so they get a little piece of free food or something like that. It's neat. Costco's full of those people, and a lot of them are zombies. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're a zombie because you go to Costco, but you know what I'm saying. You know, you go there.
But it didn't take much to wake them up.
No.
That's the key.
Yep. So the chief is right. There's not much, but you got to get yourself out there. You got to don't walk in fear, because that's what's happening. Everyone's walking around. That's why we're in a predicament that we're in. We have to get out there and share the word. Okay, and that's the word is truth. And the truth is the only way that we're going to get through this. Okay, so yeah, we definitely got to be doing that. All right, so we got more coming in. Hey, my brother Armando, good stuff. Brother Dwayne, awesome. You know, Peggy, Robert, hey, we got Ryan. You know what? We got some good. We have a great group here, and it's constantly growing in our Zoom. So share the Zoom. You know what? Make sure you join us on our Facebook group called Kawartha Freedom Group. Join us there, okay? And also the Kawartha Taxpayer Association is KLTPA.
But it's gone private now, so I have to let you in.
Okay, so the chief has turned that into a private now. So also, if you want to do something on a public side and say something, you know, give us a heads up, or you know, don't flip us the bird. Please don't do that. We'll just have to block it. I've been using that block button lately, kind of crazy, you know, and that's fine. You gotta get used to it. It's nothing personal. No. So we do have the Kawartha First Nation page. So we have the groups and we have a page. So it's really kind of started. I gotta really build that up. Now that we've gone private on our both groups, we'll be posting a lot more on there as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? Are you First Nation? Well, you know what? All the definitions, you know, you got to take a look at all the definitions. Now, if you take a look at the Indian Act says it includes. Well, if you watch this long enough, you'll know what includes means, but it means everything I say behind only, okay? So they're saying under the Indian Act, being Indian, is you have to be under the Indian card, right? So you have to be registered. Well, isn't that the thing that we're trying to come out of all these things? Now, the thing is here, we're unseated. Somehow, this chief had held on to his mouth for all these years, family, generations, to generations, and now it's time to let them know. You know, all these people have been going carte blanche, building buildings, doing everything else. So we have the proof. So you just wait. And also, I'll give you a name, and you take a look at this. OPP Constable Mark LaFrance. Okay, and what part of the division of OPP he's in? The OPP Indigenous Bureau. So what they do, they investigate individuals that come out, you know, and let everyone know, because, you know, we're in time of revelation. It'd be biblical, be it whatever you want to call it, everything is being revealed. You know, we've never had like the internet that we have now, and the mouthpieces that we've been able to do this, like just like we're doing right now, right? We're being YouTube, Rumble, other Twitter, Facebook, like, yeah, we're everywhere. And you know, share these and to wake the masses up, and that we need to be doing that. Let other people know, your neighbors. You know, one of the other things. Okay, so again, so what does the Indigenous Bureau do? So you can go on our website. I'll put the link at the bottom here. It says the Indigenous Policing. So that's what they do. They police the Indigenous to see if they are who they say they are. Okay, well, guess what? There's a video we'll put down here that the chief here was interviewing. Now, you know what? If we were going around and saying all this, wouldn't there be a charge for slander, or what do we call it?
No, fraud.
Fraud,
because we have shut down developers.
Yes.
And we've served them stop work orders, and they've stopped. So if we were fraudulent, they would be suing us.
Can you hear the chief there?
I can come in.
Yeah.
I can come in when you're ready.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with all of that. But what we're saying is, we have the other side, the guilty side, running so bad, so scared, that they have printed lies, false statements, and now we serve them all with slander, defamation suits pending.
See, we're doing that.
We're doing it. Instant.
See, what's happened is that the Kawartha Lakes of mistakes, whatever you want to call them, they
Shitty of course
shitty Kawartha mistakes. Okay. On a serious note, they turned around and put on their page and called this band
And me.
and
Fraud.
and the chief directly as fraud.
Yeah.
So we're landing a
Defamation.
defamation that's going through.
Yep.
So that's showing you that we're hitting headway. We've had a lot of issues of others getting onto the Zoom last Monday's group, and today we're having a lot of internet issues. So yeah. Hey, Kathy and Karina, welcome. You know, that's great. Keep coming. Keep sharing this group here. Has anyone had any issues getting on? Because there was last Monday, but
And the same thing, phone taps. Have you heard when you talk on your cell phone, there's a lot of crackling, like it's a click start, click stop,
yeah.
right? It's really weird, right?
Well, you know, they're definitely, we got to keep an eye on you. And this is more, see, once you start getting into more knowledge, they're going to want to know who you are. So the thing is, that's even more to get connected. We need to do that. Okay, back to the OPP Indigenous Bureau. It says that the Indigenous policing, who they are. The OPP makes advancing effective Indigenous policing in Ontario a priority. The OPP works in partnership with Indigenous communities and police service providers to ensure that public safety interests are well represented and policing needs can be met in an efficient and appropriate manner. So, hey, they know who we are, and here's their role. I'm just letting you know who we are connected, and they know who we are. The Indigenous Policing Bureau centralizes strategic expertise and provides dedicated support and resources to ensure that the OPP develops and maintains the ability to appropriately respond to Indigenous issues. Well, there's issues over here. What's going on? So we've had a band had a few bands. Oh, this is interesting. Name the bands. There was
Curve Lake, Alderville, Hiawatha, Rama, Georgina Island.
Right.
And there's Mississaugas at Scugog Island.
Scugog Island. That was the big one.
That was the big one. And then we have one more band. They put out a false statement
right
about us, not signed by any of the chiefs.
Oh yeah. Okay. So now you'll see this go around, but you don't see any signatures.
Nope.
Any lawyers.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. It's a smear tactic.
Well, they tried first with an intern, just a nobody lawyer.
Yeah.
Threatened us to cease and desist. So I dealt with her right instantly and never another word. Right?
Yeah. So that got shut down.
Quick.
Yeah. So that's what we need to be doing is, because you know what, that's why you can't believe everything on the internet. You all know that. Oh, Ryan, great to see you on here. Olga, hey, excellent. I know you have a group as well. There's also an excellent group that's based out of Australia, and Olga has shared that one. So we're going to be getting to know them as well. They're really along the ways of what's really needed, and it's the natives. I've always been told that we need to get the natives to stand up because that's what they've been. They've been really suppressed. And if you take a look at the First Nations, all these reserves, what will happen? What you see is the whole world is concentrated. It's concentrated to the point that they have the CAO that's appointed by the United Nations running the band, right?
They have an agenda.
Yes, there is the agenda. It's called UNDRIP.
Yes,
so,
and it's under the UN Agenda 2030.
Yes, so what you're looking at is, you remember someone said that you'll own nothing and be happy?
Yes.
Okay, well, we found out kind of what they're doing. It's actually to me, it's quite clear. You start looking and
Devious.
Yeah,
Evil.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So this is a land claim. It's a land grab. But they don't show it apparently how they're going to do it. But to me, and many of you speakers, the ones that are watching this, are in the know. Okay, yeah, you guys are definitely in the know. That's why you're here and you're sharing. So it's not just like ourselves, but whoever else is on the Zoom that really makes this show go. So we want to thank you all for joining in. All right, so back to the UNDRIP. UNDRIP is basically a UN agenda for a land grab. And what they do is called two-stage process. First, they're going to say, oh, look, and you see there's a reconciliation to get all the land back to the First Nations, the Indians. Okay, now, there's the Indians. What do you define Indians? Underneath the Indian Act, okay? Maybe we'll touch base on, well, I'm sure we'll touch base on that. This we'll talk more about that part. But like everything else, it's legalese, and you need to understand legal wording, called weasel words, as Jeff, as he's like says weasel words, and I believe that. That's exactly actually a good definition of that. So they're going to use that. Next thing you know, you're seeing it happen right now. And so they're going to say, okay, you're going to be under the control, under the management of the different bands, and you're starting to see that, especially out west. And you'll see that in Australia. Things are really, but Canada is really, for some reason, on the radar. So what's going to happen? So now you will own the land. You will be you'll be leasing the land off them, just like you're on a reserve. So guess what? We're all on a reserve now. Okay, so now, just like they do now, everything's under control in the UN. So yeah, like if you go to a reservation, you usually have 1 to 3 or 4 families that own everything. They basically have 90% of the money, and then the rest of them are little scrapings. You'll notice, like you'll come in, you have wartime homes or houses that they clads and plastics, and it just looks really run down. There's ones that are just running for the scrapings, and they're not working. They're all on CERB, whatever.
They're on
pension,
government basic income.
Basic income, and that's what they're going to do for everyone. So
Yep.
you take a look at the reservation, and that's where they're really pointing it to. So you really get a good idea where we're heading. Okay, so now that's all hot in place. Everyone's 15-minute cities, like you'll under checkpoints, whatever else they have, forced vaccinations, just the way it was back a couple of years ago, but 10 times worse. Okay,
No cash. No cash.
Oh yeah, to talk no cash. You have
chip in the body.
Yeah, gotta have that chip. You won't get your scrapings at the grocery store of $15 a week.
You don't get your allowance.
Yeah, it's like an allowance. Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's an allowance.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's an allowance
And
because
if
they
you're
allow
bad-
you.
If you're bad, they cut that allowance off.
Right. So if you're on social media and and sharing this video, well, you just went down 10 points.
Yes.
So
it's like the Hunger Games. If
Oh,
anybody's
yeah.
Seen them.
has anybody seen the Hunger Games?
Hunger Games.
Yeah, the Hunger Games. Well, basically they're telling you where it's going with this.
Yep.
Yeah. And now they have like that, they have them made, it's all part of depopulation too. There's too many of you to control. So I know I'm probably just preaching to the choir. Okay, okay, Brother Steve, get going with this. All right. Well, the thing is that now the Indians they all have the land. So next thing you know, United Nations says, "Oh, geez, you didn't dot that I, you didn't cross that T, you drank too much booze or whatever." They're going to do something stupid. It doesn't matter. They're going to go after you, and they're going to say, "Hey, guess what? We're going to take it all. Now you own nothing, and you're going to not be happy." And United Nations, basically, that's their whole 2-stage. That's the second stage. So I thought I'd just share that. Let me see if anyone has any comments.
And that has been set in motion since 1928.
1928.
1928, when they basically acknowledged reservations and they updated the treaties with a lot of bands.
Okay.
They set in motion then that they would recapture that land under one world order. And that's the agenda. One world order under Agenda 2030.
Mm-hmm.
You own nothing. You are dependent on basic income allotted from the government. One world order.
Gotcha.
If you don't play by the rules, they turn off your card.
Your car or whatever.
And they've done this. They've done the test where all of a sudden your card went down and you couldn't use it.
Card.
Yes,
Oh,
your card.
You know what I just found out today? The Ford F-150s is set up in their box that it can turn around automatically, take your vehicle and drive it to the closest pound.
Police station.
Or whatever. Well, that's what they're saying, the pound. Well, maybe it'll go to the next inoculation center.
Yes.
And have you locked in. Now we have a comment on here from Karina. It says, has anyone read the Deacon's verse Queen, 1665. Okay, anyone have anything on here?
It's
Okay.
actually Decus versus the Queen.
Next,
Decus versus the Queen. Okay, well, all right. Did you want to?
summarize, have her
Yeah.
summarize.
Okay. I can bring you up, and would you like to summarize it? I can put you on the front here if you like.
No thanks.
No. Okay.
If
Okay. No
if
problem.
I
Sorry.
I can get Eric, my brother, there to pin it to the chat that everybody can watch it when they
Okay,
uh have some time.
Okay. Eric, would you like to let us know, or we can do that later on? If I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
I would believe it's just a summarize of what's happening right now.
okay.
Is that they tried it and were challenged and didn't succeed 100% on it.
Mm,
Because it's like try again.
right.
Sooner or later, you will win, right?
Well, that's what the thing is that whoever forgets about history tends to repeat itself.
Yes,
So
always repeats.
yeah, so we need to know what they've done in the past, and then we know what they're up to.
But we can go right back to the Vikings. See, again,
Mhm.
man has been an animal on this earth. It has a hunger for power, land, and position. So it doesn't matter when, even if we stop and we believe we can make a big dent into 2030,
Mhm.
they'll try it again. Okay?
Well, they had Agenda 21, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, well, we got to up our game, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
And they've got 2050 out there saying that there's not going to be any gas and in the whole world. We're all on electric. We're in 15-minute cities. They're going to choke off our food supply, so they control the food, right? They control the water. They control our day-to-day life.
And you know what it says about absolute control? Corrupts absolutely.
Yes. And the issue here, money has only been a monetary tool for greed. And what they're saying in the future, they want to get rid of all money so there's no black market activity. So they control everything we do 24 hours a day by
Gotcha.
chip, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with you on
And if
there.
you don't play the game, then you get thrown outside like I've had on my truck. You're the walking in dead.
You got to check out the cheese truck. It's actually priceless. It's really good. So we need to. It's good. It's a great tool. We need to have these tools, right?
Oh, it just wakes people up. They look at it and it's like when they said to COVID, you're gonna die if you don't get the shot, if you don't follow. My sign, my message sends to people the same thing. It just shocks them. Walk in dead, right?
Well, you're calling it out, so that's interesting. Now, yeah, Peggy, you're right. Yeah, we are blessed to be alive to participate in these current times.
Yeah.
It's true. We're making moves. Our creator said, he's gonna make you bold as a lion. I was never one to be really out there to public speak and really get out there, but you know what? You have to. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You gotta. I have a love of my brothers and my sisters to tell the truth. Like the book says, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And isn't that so? That is absolutely yes. Oh, okay. We have Claudio.
Perfect.
We can get you on here. I'll add you up here. Okay. And all right, you go right ahead. You got the floor for.
Yeah, you can just listen to the voice next time. You don't have to put me up there.
Yeah.
So from what I was researching from the natives from North America, that they would call upon white buffalo calf woman in times of need like this. Have you ever heard of white buffalo calf woman?
Yes, that's the spirit.
Right. And she is the one to call upon during wars, so to speak, spiritual wars. Just thought I'd mention that. Look into it. White buffalo calf woman.
We appreciate that. We call on
All
our
right.
own family spirits to come and be warriors on our behalf because they have fought,
Absolutely.
right, and won wars. If anybody notices, Do they see the raven around their property more than what they used to? And do they see the raven talking and chirping and watching over us? Because the raven is the spirits.
Yes, I've had experiences with the ravens and the hawks actually.
Yes.
When I get an aha moment, the hawk lands 6 feet from me and stares at me at the exact same time. So we're guided, man. I get it.
Yes. Awesome. That's yes. The birds are our eyes and our ears when you go to war, right?
100%.
And they know which side they're on, which is the side of truth.
And you know what's interesting is going into the book is that we were able to speak to the animals back and forth,
Yeah.
and that has been taken away. But you know, maybe still some connections going on over here, right?
We can make the sounds ah to the raven, and the raven will actually talk back to you if you know what sounds to make.
You know, the First Nation has a direct connection to being the chosen people. I'm not going to go on about this, but I just want to share that. Look into this because, you know, like go back in time, there were Black and Indians, and they right now what they did is they did a divide and conquer. And we were all here in North America. Like this is our land, and you know, these we were a whitewash. I'm part of that whitewash myself. They call me Métis. You know, the French Indian, Ojibwe, and the France. So France came over here to whitewash the whole our tribes.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? They missed a few.
They didn't dilute everybody.
No, that's right. And we're here. You know, they forgot a few of us.
Yeah. But we all are native, and we've emphasized this. We may be the first native, but we're all native to this country.
Yes. Well, see, now there's the other part where definitions of native.
Yes.
And the thing is that if you were born here, native, what would be the definition?
Nativity.
Nativity, you know, a naissance. You were born here. Like, you got to look at all the Latin. You got to look behind all these words, right?
Your roots, you feel at home. When you cross the border and leave this country, when you come back, you have that feeling, I'm home,
Yes, sir.
right?
Actually, I get that feeling every time I leave here. I go to Toronto that way, and I want to get back as fast as I can, especially past those swing gates. Take a look at those big swing gates. You think that's for crowd control? It's not for. We're the cattle. Okay, all right. We're gonna have some fun here. Birth of the Phoenix is yeah, it is true. Yeah, Peggy. Yeah, you know, no kidding. Eh? Speaking to the Ravens, it's happening, and it is very interesting times to be. But yeah, so you know what? Like again, we're gonna be the enemy because of the ones that don't want the truth, the ones that have had pleasure and unrighteousness. Right? That's what's going on here. Is you take a look at the the CAOs, the counselors, the mayors, they're on a take like, and they're getting caught, and what they got to do? They got to discredit you. That's what they're trying to do. Every time you turn around, they're trying to discredit you. Yeah, Peggy. Yeah, we need to figure how to negate these gates. Well, you know, actually, here's what England does quite a bit with those towers with the cameras. They actually have challenges. Cut down the tower challenges. You got people with cut off saws. You see them down. You know, hey, maybe that's what people are going to be challenging each other to do these gates. I have no idea. And you know what? And what we talk about on this show is for pure enjoyment, right? So it's not like what do you call it? Legal advice. Hey, you know what? People can say all kinds of stuff.
These are experiences that individuals have lived and survived, and now we can tell that to someone else.
That's correct.
We've lived it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it would let me see. Okay, Karina, every one of us are native to the land. That's right. Yeah, we're all men and women. We all bleed. Say, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, purple. No. So there's no discrimination. No, absolutely not. Yeah, no, you bet. Okay, so tonight is this kind of I'm trying to this kind of a openness. We do have a few things that we want to speak on.
Yes.
But let me see if there's anyone would like to come up. There's the thing on Sunday.
Yeah, we can talk about that too.
Yeah, we do have a full day event. It's you know, it's called Talkstock, and that's what we're trying to figure out. We've always been doing the Monday night group here, and it's the Kawartha Freedom Group, the Kawartha Taxpayers, the Kawartha First Nation. But it's nice to just put something together. Like we thought Woodstock. You know, Woodstock was a really wild gathering that everyone just came together, right? And of one mind, a oneness, right? A one of rock. That's what it was, and that rock and pot, whatever it was. Like, so it was kind of nuts. Anyways, actually, you ever see those videos? You don't see anyone with tattoos. You hardly see any fat people. They're all like very well behaved, and you know, whatever they do. Well, we thought Talkstock, because this is what we're doing. We're talking back and forth. It's a conversing. It's many hands make light work. We're just trying to get to the truth of all matters, you know, and how best way to do that is just to expose these liars, you know, and once you start scraping like everything else, like it's like an onion, right? You peel one level of onion, it exposes another lie, and then okay, well, here we go, another lie. It's like, man, I've been at this for quite some time now, and I can't believe the level of deceitfulness and lies that just it's outrageous. I'm sure every one of you can imagine and have and gone through so much. So for us, like, you know, we've come to the point of truth of any sort. Well, actually, you know, every day is always something new. But yeah, we do have a Talkstock workshop that we put together for this coming Sunday. So we're going to have it. I'm going to give the address here. It's 3900 Highway 35 North, just in the town of Cameron. Okay, and that's just north, 5 minutes north of Lindsay. Yep. And yeah, we have a nice large area here. This is just one spot that we use here, but we do have another room that's very quite large, so we can house a lot of individuals. And we're having multiple guest speakers. And any of you would like to just let me know by the like tonight, if you're interested to come out or participate, even to do a 20-minute segment. We're trying to keep it broken down to have it even on Zoom, so we can do Zoom presentation as well. So I'm going to be doing one on colloidal silver and how the benefits of that in your life. And I'm going to go into that direction for myself. I thought, you know, let's just bring it down, mix it up. And so the chief has got to have obviously a lot about the legalities dealing with land patents, you know, being pre-Confederation, knowing actually most of Ontario period is pre-Confederation, you know, so you know, we're going to dive into that and how we can come in and help in different areas of your community, and how you can participate and how you can help in your community as well, and how we can maybe put a frame together of something somewhat template. Then we can say, hey, we have these two that can speak on here. Then when we go to this next level, process and procedures, and you know, like do a swim lane diagram to know at what point of the process that you're gonna be. You know, like these got to be set up that it's really clear in your mind, and then we're gonna get there. You know, and that's what we're doing. We've been gathering so much information here. Dallas, you've major contributor on what we need to be doing, and you're getting headway on that. That's great. We're doing the same thing here. You know, we have Sheila with the POG. You know, and you know, that'll be great to have that information out there, and how to keep on top of them, how to expose it, how to share that information, having networks like this. So this definitely is a great way of doing this. So
and the number one, how to set up an investigation on City Hall.
yeah,
That's the most important thing.
did you hear that? How to set up an investigation on City Hall.
Yes.
Hitting on multiple fronts.
Yep.
Like, we're not telling you how we're doing it, but when you're here,
Yes.
you'll definitely want to get to that point that you have different people at different levels, okay, and different expertise and what to look for, right? And the history in your community. Know who you're dealing with. Know the enemy. Like, the thing is that it should not be an enemy, but they've turned around and made us their enemy, and that shouldn't be. They were hired to do the job, right? And the problem is it's doing their own job now. They're doing not what we've been asking them to, and now we ask them where their authorities are.
And where the money went.
and
the money went.
and where the money went. Well, wouldn't you want to know? Like, you're the boss. You delegated a group to say, hey, can you take care of the budget on the car washing project? Okay, great. All right, so you got a bunch of guys doing the car wash, and their cars coming in, and their car and wash. You give them $5. The next thing you know, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, how did we do? What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, where'd the money go?
Where did the money go?
What money?
Well, that's all we're asking for. Come on, just tell us. We got to run this. How do we run a business? A city is a business. Like, you got to do this properly. And they're not doing it. And you got to call them on it. How about this? What happened if those one car washers that you're talking about turns around, you look in your driveway, and your trailer's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And someone says, oh, they sold it. They sold my trailer. How much did you get for it?
We don't know.
See what I mean? Like, it's in the budget. Come on, it's making it clear. It's literally, that's what they're doing. So they're taking city property and selling. That's what they're doing over here, and I'm sure it's doing it in many other different
Everywhere.
places.
Every municipality
It's rampant.
is selling public property,
Right.
which belongs to the people.
Exactly. So it belongs to you, right? But see, the thing is that the less that you find out, or the more you find out that they're selling it all off, but then there's expenses to the city. Well, guess what? If your expenses are $1 million and you have like 100 people, you got to spread it about 100 people. Well, next thing you know, they sell assets. Now it's $1.2 million. Where's that coming out of? Your pocket. So they're stealing it from you, just like when they print money in existence, they're liquidating and stealing off you. Anyways, that's another topic. Okay, all right. Yeah, Brother Armando, they've forgotten they are supposed to serve the people. Yeah, that's right. And meanwhile, what they do, when you call them on it, they says, oh, you're not allowed to be in our driveway.
Nope.
Meanwhile, it's my driveway.
No, you're not. It's my driveway.
But exactly. So the car washers are telling you you're trespassing on my driveway.
Yes.
See what I'm getting at?
They become the boss.
They end up being your boss.
Yes, they're the boss.
And then they're saying, oh, yeah. Oh, next thing you know, they're going to say you're trespassing. And then they call the cops that you're walking on your own driveway,
Yep.
that they stole your trailer. See, it just gets ridiculous by the second.
And then they call the police. They work for them.
Oh, yeah, the police. Well, meanwhile, but who's paying for it? The guy that owns the house, right?
Yeah.
It just gets ridiculous. Okay.
Millions and millions of dollars just go missing.
Yeah.
Every municipality.
Yeah.
Not just here, every municipality. This is like a plan, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a plan. So now you got those car washers. Now the guy next door, he's got car washers, and you got the other guys. And now they formed a union.
Yep.
And meanwhile, they have some guy that's over in the other city or another country that's saying, hey, we'll have a vote, but you just give me the vote and I'll just fix it all up for you.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
It's out of control.
It's out of control. And Karina says, we know the Chiefs have sold out the people, so that is where you hit them,
Yes.
where it hurts.
Yes, that's where we are hitting them. I'm gonna explain to her where we're hitting them. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we start with one group, it affects all of them.
This could be a domino effect. And you know
Yeah.
what? They're trying to stop this process. And you know what? They're probably watching these videos. And then next thing you
Which we
notice,
welcome them to.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. But see, they're going to do another, they'll probably do another slip going, oh, geez, oh my God, they're onto us. What are we going to do now?
Now we're gonna do.
Okay. All right. I got a plan. I don't know. I don't really have a plan. How about Joe? Oh, no, I don't know. Geez.
No.
Okay.
Let's turn on the Duke of Hazards. Maybe we can figure it out from there.
Jeez.
We'll
See-
see what Boss Hog done.
Yeah, boss. See, we're very, I'm not saying simple people. I'm not saying that. We know what's going on,
Yep.
but we're trying to keep it as natural and normal. And what's normal? What's normal nowadays?
And we're trying to be decent with them. That's the thing.
Actually, you're right. I've seen the chief turn around and give him the hand and say, hey, you know what? We want to negotiate.
Yeah.
All right, let's sit back. Let's take a look. You said you under their policy in Kawartha Lakes here that they understand that they're on land, First Nations land, and it says, well, then we understand. Okay, so you do, and meanwhile, well, if
Well,
you're
it's
talking
not
about
you.
land, huh?
It's not you though. It's somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that they call.
The ones
Yeah.
that are in the ones that they have under their thumb that are already signing off on their phony archaeological study for money to let the developer build so that the city gets the taxes from the houses they build. It's quite a system, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's almost guaranteed right across the whole province that every band that has been given authority over archaeological studies are signing off on phony studies. Because to do a proper archaeological study on 100 acres of land, you'd be doing it 10 years.
Did you hear that? Yeah. So they're not really doing it.
No. And most of all this land that they're doing it on is what you call no-till land. It's never been turned for 25, 30 years. So you can't do an archaeological study on no-till land. And the other issue is they have never defined what they're looking for. We're not just looking for bones or skeletons, we're looking for artifacts. Those are the valuable things because those tell your history. Those tell how long your people have been on the land. That's what you're looking for when you do an archaeological study. It's like finding the dinosaur. You have to uncover the whole mass. You just don't stop at the front. And this is what we get into with these people. That if they do a proper archaeological study, it would slow the growth down astronomical. It would affect the tax revenues that municipalities are being able to suck out of our lands that are still really, they're gold mines for archaeological things.
So on that token, it should be slowing down the process of them trying to develop the lands that we have here to the point that we can control that. We can right now, all you've heard of the chief's videos on the shit situation. So, they can't even manage what they have now, and I'm sure it's happening to other cities as well, and we need to do that. Actually, Dallas shared there's a video link here called Darcy Martin's Calls Out the Fraud and the Solution to End the Contract. So that's a good video to take a look at.
That's a powerful video.
Yeah, you definitely, like Chief said, that's a very powerful video.
Yeah.
I would highly suggest that you watch that, okay? So, like I said, we do have a really good group here, and we keep adding to the knowledge, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And
if we crack one nut, we crack them all, right?
Right. So, and you know what? That's the thing here too, eh? The nut cracking. See, the enemy comes in, tries to divide and conquer, and will try to come in and divide. And we can't get caught up in those division stuff, okay? We need to know who the real enemy is. And you know what? We all have, like Donald's, we all have like little bits and pieces of this puzzle. And you know what? We can't nitpick on individuals. Some are hard ass, and some are, a little softer on the side of this. Just as long as we keep going and stay focused, we need that focus on them. Okay. But the thing is, know that the enemy will try to infiltrate and get in. And I remember by a couple different places saying like 1 out of 10 are infiltrators in all your groups. So if you got 100 people, you're going to expect 10 are going to be infiltrators and what do they try to do? They kill, destroy, and scatter the flock. So then the mission is done, and we can't be following that kind of suit. So we got to watch, know them that labor among you. That's very true. That's old history. That's the way we got to think. So get to know who's in your group. Don't have such a large group that you run not understanding who they are. So you need to get together. Have some dinners. Get together on a nice light night. Get together on like we are on Mondays, right? Okay. All right. So, anyone would like to chime in and say something? Dallas, you're always a bundle of words and always very well received. Yeah, absolutely.
1 second. I gotta get beauty. I have to get beautied up here. I've been working all day. I've been out in the fields.
Oh. Not enough beauty sleep.
Give me 1 second. I'll be in. We have some good stuff to say. We always have something great to say. We're all coming together.
Yeah. Dun, dun. And a little bit of an interlude here, so. All right. And also, we do have an interesting individual in here, Olga. Olga actually brought to my attention about an Australian group that's really working at the native side as well. So really need to be more connected. We're because what's happening, what's working there might just work here. What was working here might even work over there. Because they're trying to like the finger in a dike. They're trying to stop this thing coming down, and you know what? You can't stop it.
It's a freight train.
Yeah, it definitely is a freight train.
It's a freight train.
Yeah, but you know what? There's gonna be all kinds of stuff along the way, but the heat is on,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we do have this workshop this Sunday. So please tune in. We'll be 10 till 6 on this coming Sunday. And that is that the 28th? So that's April 28th, and we'll have on this Zoom link here. And again, it's 3900 Highway 35 North, and that's in Cameron, Ontario, just 5 minutes north of Lindsay. And Lindsay is like 2 hours away from Toronto, and it's just next door neighbor to Peterborough.
Yeah, tell me we have enough room for 200 people.
Yeah, we have a capacity of 200 individuals, or may have to flood outside, but
Yeah.
we do have this room here too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can break out in here.
You can get 400 if you do piggyback.
Well, there you go. That could definitely be.
So yeah, I want to recommend that video. So a lot of work has been put into it by a lot of great people. I mean, a lot. So we have some really exciting stuff that we got this week. Was Karen and Heinz did some great work, but most powerful is the proof of claim. So after you do your deputation, 3 or 4 of you, move on. You've given them the opportunity, the opportunity to walk away from their fraud, and they committed a fraud. You served them. You've committed fraud. You don't work for us. So if they don't jump off ship, move on. Then you want to go for your proof of claim. So you're going to go for the proof of claim for taxation. So the proof of claim went in. Second proof of claim for the notice went in. The third one went in. And then the mayor finally contacted us and said they have no jurisdiction to tax us. So no more property tax. Get your land title. Once you get your land title, you start moving forward. Very powerful. We're laying it all out step by step, 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So now you copyright your birth certificate. Powerful. And a lot of people didn't do this. And for 30, 40 years, we failed pushing the birth certificate away and our straw man away. But we copyrighted the straw man, brought the straw man towards us. I know it's fictional, but they use that equity against you. So we thought we'd test it, see if it works, see if it's going to be beneficial to everybody, right? No point in jumping in there, a whole bunch of us to waste our time, money, etc., etc. So quite a few did it. So the birth certificate went well. So you copyright the straw man. You copyright your birth certificate, you copyright your social insurance number. You remove your social insurance number. Now we're working at social insurance number. We have some information now with the social insurance number. All the taxes you paid in for years will be returned to you. They have a trust account hidden, and people, we failed for many years because we weren't really figuring out how they're doing it. So Karen and Heinz did it, and that was a big test. We tried it out with Susan. Susan? Was her name Susan?
Brierly.
Yeah, Susan Brierly. So we tested it. So Heinz went in and tested it. And what they did was they went to the Royal Bank and the Toronto Dominion Bank. And they contacted them. And they asked for, I think it was $100,000 off their SPVU account. And the bank manager said, I've never heard nothing of this shit before. SPVU account. Yep. Yeah. Didn't hear it. She said, well, I want to talk to your supervisor. So they phoned the supervisor, and the supervisor said, yes, you want to get your SPV account? And they said, yes. And they said, okay, it'll be about 3 or 4 days. The paperwork, send the paperwork in. We're going to see what happens here this week. So that was pretty exciting news. But the proof of claim on taxation, the proof of claim that they have the authority to create bylaws, the proof of claim, we're not telling them anything. We're just asking them to provide this information. Provide the information where you got clarification. Now we got the proof that the lieutenant governor does not sign off on any of this stuff. Acts and statutes aren't laws. They create them. but it's the mayor and CAO at the local level that sign off on these criminal activities, and they're the scapegoat. Like Sheila said, they have no idea. So now, when I served what do you call it? The yellow, I served the entire Yellow County, Whitecourt, Yellowhead, then Edson, all of them, right? I served them and the CAOs, and we had quite a confrontation with the CAO. I did, right, but that was beside the point. But they wouldn't accept it publicly, and I said that's fine. So I went right down there, broad daylight, with a camera with Ron taping it. You can go watch it. He had a shit conniption. The deputy mayor phoned the RCMP to get me arrested. That backfired because I wasn't doing any harm. I was just warning them they've committed fraud. And I even told the cops, you are a corporation. You have no jurisdiction over a man of flesh. And they're starting to learn because more and more people are starting to do this. And by the way, what was really funny was the bank manager. I forgot to tell you this part here. The bank manager, the upper level, one of the Toronto Dominion, he said, you're the second person in the last 2 weeks that did this. Asked for this. Yeah, the second. Yeah, totally. He said, so people are starting to do it, and so as we progress down this route, now, have you guys heard of the Brady court case?
Yes, we have.
Okay, you need to go watch the Brady court case. Now that is now set precedent in Saskatchewan. Okay. It's unbelievable. So once you look at that court case, we're going to be trying that court case in the next couple of weeks again. We're going to be trying it on different ideas. These judges do not want to be held liable. And as long as you don't get yourself into their trickery of their legalese. So we recommend you don't go to court. Recommend you do the proof of claim. But if you're forced to go into court, then make sure you got somebody that has the skills to support you. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing training on that. So it's powerful. And I think a lot of these, well, I'll give you one example. So after this was done with the bank accounts, with the first banker, the manager of the bank, he wanted a private email to come in and start learning what we're doing because he's very curious. We're trying to lay it out to them. So lots of them don't know. A lot of these mayors, city council members don't know. And when I talk to some of the city council members, a lot of this stuff, they have no idea. They've got no authority. They're not getting information. They're overwhelmed with all the stuff, all the paperwork, the bullshit, 5,000 pages. And it's only one little paragraph right in the middle that says, we're going to screw you all. They don't see it all, right? So before they have a document, how long do you look at these documents? 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? No, they get them a week. They barely get to look at them, and they get approved by 3 or 4 people. Well, it's just routine. Just sign the papers, get it done. No investigation, no critique thinking, no another word for it.
No brains in the head.
No accountability, and that's where we're at. So these people are signing off. They have no idea what they're doing. They might as well go back to the United Nations, a stupid school, right? University or teachers. And I noticed a lot of these people that are sitting on the city council members all were teachers. So they've been totally brainwashed, indoctrinated for stupidity for years. So their mindset is totally out to totally out to lunch, right? They have no clue what's going on in the real world. And they're overpaid. And by the way, the counselors lied to me. They told me they were getting $20,000 a year. Oh, I found out differently. They're getting $90,000 a year on the books. And that's not counting the black books or the brown paper bags they're getting too. You follow me? They're all being bribed. They're all being greased at the wheels. So their entire situation is, fraud right from the start from one. And once we get more and more people, we got to start auditing them more. We want to get the books open because I think when the people find out how much they've been laundering and stealing for the last 100 years, and that's why it's important to keep pushing forward. And the proof of claims, that's where to go now. 100%. Get on it, learn it, comprehend it, study it, take your time. You're in no rush. By the way, Sparrow laid it out very clear, very clean. We'll help you do them. We're going to do one for each province, for each corporation. What do you want to call it? We'll call them corporations now on. Don't call them provinces, corporations. Call them what they are. And by the way, a lot of people ask us about the Clearfield Doctrine. The Clearfield Doctrine is 100% corporation. You got to remember, Canada's a corporation. I call it Agent Orange. So once you understand it's an Agent Orange, get off the flags. Don't be packing their flags around. But another thing too is if you put up a Canadian flag or an Ontario flag or a BC flag on your property, you've surrendered your property. Another thing too, don't the word property is their word. So when you put up these signs that keep off private property, no, keep off private land. It's land, not property.
Right.
Interesting, right? So a lot of people, as we keep progressing further and further with information, it's the wording. They trick you on everything. You're not a citizen. You're not a Canadian citizen. Quit saying you're a Canadian citizen. Because if you say you're a Canadian citizen, you want to be a slave. And you have that contract. Every contract, it's your contract. They got to show proof of contract. So when people go, oh, well, the United States has got a constitution. No. United States Agent Orange Parasite Corporation has a contract how they govern their employees. That's all it means. So what? So you can stay in their legal system, their nonsense system, or move away, and you have that opportunity. So hydro, all these gas stuff, we own all this stuff. They put it to these P3 contracts with Harper, and back in 2003, which was their big one, the private membership contracts, right? So, Husky, all these companies got to come in, but they're all still owned by the same company. There's only one oil company in the world. And so once you get rid of that company and realize that these companies have committed fraud against you on the resources, management, there's so many things. We all know a lot of this stuff, but now we're starting to pinpoint where we can dent their system and hammer their system apart. So look at the proof of claim, spread that video. If you share that video nonstop for the next 6 months, we'll get so many people educated. Why are people watching this video? Stop sharing the porn, like follow the cabal bullshit. Those things are distracting you from what you need to know. We need to know how to get out of this system and build our own system. How do we fix the problem? We've got to concentrate on the solution. So we have Allison's coming up next week to do a deputation in her local community. I think it's 17. So she's gonna be doing that. If you guys are available, go support her, come down, help her. I think Larry Schwartz is going down there. So that'd be very powerful. Go support her. She needs backup. She phoned in yesterday. She wants to set up a meeting. So if any of you guys, she mentioned Peggy, she mentioned quite a few. If she was interested to come in to sit down and go through the deputation with her 2 or 3 times to encourage her, to help her out, to get her get her belt right up, So when she walks in there, she feels comfortable. She knows exactly how to position it. And when they're not probably going to accept it, that's fine. But we're giving them notice, we're informing them to stop committing fraud. You've committed fraud. You're foreign. You swore an oath to a foreign allegiance. You've never sworn an oath as a public official to protect the men and women in your community, and you're not working in the best interest, and you need to stop what you're doing. That's what we're trying to warn them, right? And we move forward. And if they don't accept it, that's fine. We'll keep going forward. And remember, the more people that hammer them, the faster they sink. That's my 2 words. 3 words, 4 words.
Five bells.
Okay, all right.
Good.
So how do I get back myself on here? Yeah. Give me a
Just unpin me.
Yeah, I'd have to. No, okay, so I need to pin myself. What would happen? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, all right.
There you go.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, now we did have Olga. Olga, would you like a word? You had a hand.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about trying to connect with Australia in this group. Yeah, we're still working on it, but it takes time and the time difference, and now they have daylight saving time. I think it's 1 hour behind because it's winter for them coming.
Yes.
It's always getting mixed up on time and so on. However, some other ways, like they post their videos, I think I shared with you.
Yes.
If you have time to look at it, how they do it, what they do. definitely the leader there expressed interest that he wants to work with Canada, and that's going to happen. They organized one meeting for Canadians, and just happened to be 2 a.m. our Eastern time. Yeah, I was at that meeting, but not very many people. And then they realized, no, this is not going to work. So that is going to come up another one, I'm sure.
Okay.
And this thing will happen. Now, I know you're inviting speakers here.
Yes.
So I wonder if he can find, like, if we make that connection and invite him and see what happens. It all depends on how much time he's got, because he works in many different cities in Australia. And yeah, I have the documents. I have lots of documents from them that
Okay.
I can share. But is just looking at the document is not enough. I was going to ask Dallas whether they whether they start with they call it affidavit. Actually, is the declaration of being living, breathing man or woman, and that is pretty long documents, lots involved in there. So I can share for some, like, if Dallas is into it, I would rather share with him to review, and are they willing to work on training with other people on that document. That's the start. It includes a lot of things. Once you submit that document will be approved by the International Court. And once you submit the document, and because they have nothing to say, and give them how much time to respond you require, they will not, because they have nothing to say against that. So right there is a consent. So they consented to everything that they've said. And it's a very powerful document. So yeah, I would share that documents if you have someone who works with documents, because I hear Dallas here. I think he's very knowledgeable and he's been on it for many years. Having that document kind of saves you from doing a lot of other additional things in preparation when you want to take action, meaning when you have to submit a notice of anything. That's the base. So we'll work, some of the work we'll do slowly, some of the work we'll do as fast as it takes to get it done. And yeah.
Well, I put my email in there. Send it off to us. We'll all look at it. I mean, we have nothing. We want to look at everybody's documentation. So, I mean, Claudia will probably take it too. Maz will take it. Stan will take it. A whole bunch of us will look at it and go through it all.
Yeah, sure.
And we also run a Zoom daily too, right?
Yeah. Look, it's not secret documents for everybody. I would rather share it with everybody. But that document takes a knowledgeable person that will work with the one who is working on the document. You know what I mean? I don't want to confuse people with it. That's all I want to say. It's available. If it's available to me, that is available to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll send it off. We'll send it out to everybody. We'll start looking at it, speed it up, right?
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's great. Many hands make light work, right? So it's nice to have multiple eyes at this.
If
Yeah.
we're all in the same document, then it shows more force, right?
Yeah, like the chief said, we're all showing the same document. It does show that force of that document. So yeah, let's perfect that, right? It's time for perfecting it. Yeah.
All right. And once we start working on it, his name is Alex, the person I'm referring to. Sorry, I'm using the word person, just doesn't come to
Your definition, we understand. That's just like what I just said.
He's very willing to help and say, if we have any question, he will answer, he will talk to us, but he's so taken with time, and so he counts on us that we will take some action too, So we'll work on it. Yeah.
Well, Olga, that's right.
Uh,
You know what? Thank you for adding that information and adding to, see, this is a teamwork, right? This is what we need to be doing, working together.
yeah.
And
He
that's where
was
they,
being concerned. Alex was being concerned a bit. He said, yes, I know all the statutes and acts regarding the indigenous in Australia, but I still have to learn them. What is it in Canada? I said, there's so many people that are aware. We do the research, we can find, we can help with that part. You know? So
okay.
So
anyways,
basically, if we can get the.
I just not lose all this that's posted here in the chat.
Signed on to UN agenda.
180, was it 188 or 133?
No, there's 133 bands in
Oh, yeah,
Ontario.
sorry, yeah.
There's over 100, I think it's 198 countries signed
Yeah,
on
okay,
to Agenda 21,
yeah.
and they all have Indigenous, First Nations, all in all those countries.
Yeah, okay, the
So
chief
that's
was,
the power, that, if we can get that document, if it's powerful,
yeah.
into all those countries that have signed on to the UN,
Mhm.
that's where we start making inroads.
I don't know if you heard what the chief was saying here, is that, you did?
Yeah.
Some of it, yes. I got
Okay.
the idea. What he said.
Gotcha. So there is 198 countries dealing with the UN, right? So, and knowing that they've all signed on to the Agenda 2030, you know, and at this point, we have this completely perfected where we have it where we're supposed to be working with this and dealing with this. We'll be able to use that across all these countries, and then where our network is being spread out right now, you know, this is really
Well,
gonna be very powerful.
If we can empower the Indigenous.
Empower the indigenous ones, right? So that's what we need to be
in
doing.
all those countries, then.
And
they're
every
out.
land has its
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
indigenous. It's not like we're here and, I'm indigenous from another land myself, so.
Correct. We're all native to that land if we were born there. So if we can use that document as the tool to challenge the UN's agenda, it's an offensive then to them. They have to go defense where we're going offense on them. So I believe, and again, once we get the document and review it, it may be that very powerful tool that we can share between all these countries that have signed on to Agenda 2030, to get it into those countries, into First Nations hands, right? Because again, we as natives have that power over the UN. We just have to exercise that power.
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's always been the case. Okay.
Thanks, Olga. We're really pleased you're on with us.
Yeah,
Okay.
very good.
We're gonna-
Exciting times.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Claudio, you need to unmute yourself. There we go.
Yep. There. Okay, so I just want to make sure we understand the chess move with the United Nations. So the United Nations every country signed with the United Nations in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. They signed the treaties that control them. The Constitution of Canada is bound by the UN treaties that they signed in the 60s.
Right.
So they're playing that smear campaign. They don't want, if anybody brings up United Nations, you don't want to hear it. You already heard about the new agenda because the old truth lies in the United Nations called the International Covenants, which controls them because they signed it. It's karmic. So that document got me off CRA off my back using what controls Canada, the treaties, the international covenants of civil and political rights. In there, it talks about you have the right to be recognized as a person before the law. Think about that one, right? They can't force person on you. And that's in there. They don't want you to go see that.
See,
Get it?
now, Claudio, this is
It's a chess move. It's a smear campaign. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you post that document if it's handy, what you just mentioned?
Absolutely.
please, in
I
the
will.
chat. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Now, this is something we should have for Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll put go through it slowly. We'll show that document, and you can go through that.
Yep.
If you would like to do that on Sunday,
Yeah, how powerful it is.
yeah. If you're able, do you have something like a PowerPoint
Very.
available, or no? If not,
I can throw something quickly together. I've sent that document to the CEO, which is the Governor General, who's the acting CEO of Canada, and to the Lieutenant Governor. So that's both corporations covered, and each Attorney Generals. They called me, and I said, "What are you doing calling me about what I've sold or if I sold anything?" I says, "I've already given you my notice of understanding and claim of recognition that I'm no longer an association per the international covenants. I am now non-resident in their corporation. It's in there. You have the right to be in association with others. You don't have to be in association with them." So when I talk like that, CRA never sent me another notice again.
okay. See,
That's
so,
what they don't want you to see.
Yes.
What's playing in the media and getting everybody all upset is a smear campaign, because if you hear me say the word United Nation, you're going to think you're already educated. You won't listen to me. That's what they do. They've been doing that for hundreds of years. Just tell them a little bit of the twisted truth, but make sure they hear it so often they never want to hear the topic again.
okay,
Okay.
Claudio, you need to contact me. We'll do a time. We'll set a time so I can put a schedule together for
Yep.
next Sunday. All right. And
Absolutely.
what's your we're Eastern. Where are you?
We're Eastern. I'm Eastern. I'm Windsor. We used to go
Yeah,
houseboating out there.
perfect. That's right. Yeah, we're neighbors compared to the
That's
rest of them.
right. Yeah.
Good. Well, okay, this is
Okay.
exciting. Like Peggy says,
It
we
is
are
exciting. All right.
We can do it on Zoom form, makes it much easier.
absolutely. And you know what? If you'd like to come out, there's we can camp out. There's, but let us know. Anyways, we can make sure we
But
have.
for this
I
one-
would love to. I got a little favor to ask. We'll see if you can help me.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Doesn't never hurts to ask, because you know what, we're here for each other, right?
Yeah, we'll talk after.
No, I know. It's kind of a joke, but I want to tell you a story.
Okay.
Well, hey, maybe we can open
See,
up.
that's two advances we've made tonight. Two very strong advances, right? The document that Olga's got and
Yep.
that information that you just shared, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And as we move along, there'll likely be a lot more people that have come in and found other areas of tools that we can all put in our tool chest, right?
That's right. So yeah, we got to arm ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing here.
We're building an armor suit, is what we're building for war, right?
Yeah. I got my breastplate on.
Yep.
That's right. Breastplate of truth. Okay.
Has Robert got anything? Normally he's got an awful lot of stuff to add.
Okay. I'll remove the pin here.
Rick, is Rick on?
Not sure.
No, Rick's not on this time, but
Yeah, he always does. Yeah.
okay.
Is Robert on?
Yeah, Robert. Sometimes it's nice taking the back seat. I understand.
Okay.
So, back seat comes.
So are they ready? You want me to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do so.
Well, hey, let's get the chief back on here. I mean, on here. All right. Woo!
Here I
All
come.
right, bring on the chief.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, can't have a show without the chief.
Good to see everybody. I'm really interested and actually excited with all this new knowledge that's being brought and spread. It must, like I said, I just want to touch on something. I had over 200 people on our North Lakes Taxpayers Association, and I went through and I weeded them all out down to 62 people that I know that are committed to our cause. And once I went private, I've had over 100 requests for them to come all back in again. Okay. And not one of them has contributed in any of our conversations or any comments. So I believe most of them that were in there were spies trying to figure out where we're going and what we're doing. So that's
course
why,
they would,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's why I've gone private on my site so that it'll only get shared amongst the 62 people that are part of that group. And we still have the other group that's
We're hitting about 900 right now. But
Yeah.
it's really escalating really fast. So.
yeah, I've been
That's fine.
focusing on the young people for the last, ever since I did my truck up and put all the information on it, got my loudspeaker so I could talk to them from a distance. Now they're coming, I park, and they come around me like, it's like, wow.
You're the yummy man.
I hope, and I don't know when we go through, some of them have already joined our group. They believe the same thing as what we do, that if they don't stand up now, they will never have a future when they get in their 20s, 25. So for me, it was quite, and I did 4 high schools, local high schools, and I've been driving every day by them at lunchtime, stopping, talking, chatting, and now they look for me, okay, every day to come. So today we had a really good conversation with about 30, and all of them, I think some of them, one joined when I was standing there and he shows me, look, I'm on the group now. So I'm not sure whether he's on, they were all gonna come on tonight on Zoom, because I said we have a very interesting group of knowledgeable people, all committed to create a future for youth. Because that's really what we're doing this for, right? We're doing it for the next generation, and the generation after them, and the generation after them. So at that, I'm very pleased. We've had a very interesting week last week. This week has been as much interesting. I got a request now because they put out that smear campaign against us. And I mean, they were coming hard. And I served the city and the police because they had hired, we know they'd hired this expert, Wesley, what's his last name? Woke?
Right.
Something like that. Well,
Walker.
anyways, he's the gentleman that did the smear campaign in Ottawa against the truckers. And he's done a number of, he's done a, what, sorry?
Someone say something?
Yeah, he's done a number of smear campaigns for government against Wark,
Wark,
Wesley
right.
Wark, and that. So we were really thankful. One of our deputy chiefs did a deep dive on where all these names were coming from that were smearing us, and he linked everybody to Kawartha Lakes. So we know there's one person, and I'm going to say his name if anybody's in contact with him, is Gene Belfler. This guy is
Belfler?
a psychotic. He's psychotic.
Wasn't he with the?
Yeah, you can tell.
Well,
You can tell by the posts that have gone up. It's his work, right? He doesn't like the fact that we as a group are making progress. He wants to be sort of the center man because he goes golfing with the mayor, and his attitude is, well, we just talk to them. They'll come around, okay? So we're almost 100% sure.
what is interesting, like all these individuals that come around, they hang around with us, they ask
Yeah.
a lot of questions, they come in within your group.
Yeah.
And this is what we we're saying earlier, like 1 out of 10, like they come in to infiltrate, to kill, steal, destroy, scatter the flock,
Yeah.
or gather the information. And that, you know what,
It's like my case. If you can believe this, and this is why I'm 100% sure it's him. He goes on my Facebook and he creates my family tree, but he forgot he missed 3/4 of my relatives. But he was out to prove that I'm not First Nation.
That was a lot of work.
And he put
was
hours
a lot of
and
work.
hours of work.
almost every day there's always
Yeah.
something coming up.
Yeah.
It's like there's maybe he's got something, maybe he loves you.
I don't know. I don't think so. I have called him out. I have called him out so many times. okay? And he doesn't like to be called out. He can't take that, right? But I'm just gonna leave it at that. We know basically, I sent an email to the investigating officer, Tom Hickey, accusing him of using this group of people to smear us. And I said it's not gonna work because we just served you with a defamation lawsuit. And like I said, we have the city, the chief, I call him the chief, the mayor, the councilors, the CAO, the city itself. Now we've got them wrapped into a $10 million defamation lawsuit, and we're suing them personally.
Absolutely.
So we're going after their assets, right? Personally. They can't use any insurance that the city's got for liability because we're not suing the city. And I already told them you got to hire all independent lawyers, each one is, okay? And if anybody knows about a defamation lawsuit, they're fast, they're quick, and there's nowhere to go afterwards. You can't take it to the Supreme Court of Canada. You can't take it to basically nowhere because it's a cut and dried thing. All the allegations that they had published on their Facebook page, the city, and on their website, they have to prove they're true.
That's true.
And the fact is, we have 26, I'm going to say native people at different percentages of Indian. Myself, I'm 30% Ojibwa, 30% German, and 40% English. That's myself. And I will prove that in a court of law. I have been, should we say, harassed, threatened, told to get out of where I live by a number of people because they can't face the truth. On the back of my truck, if you haven't seen it, we want to know where the millions and millions of missing money is.
Still no answer, right?
Still no answer.
No.
We're 1 month solid from when we filed the complaint with the city. They've done no investigation, the police. Neither one of them, the OPP nor the
Neither of them.
Kawartha Lakes Police Services.
You hear that?
What they tried to do was smear us in public, that the public would turn on us. Well, it's worked the opposite because we put out the facts instantly up on their site, spread it all over. I was in Peterborough yesterday at Costco.
Here's the press release.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Peterborough yesterday at Costco, and there was almost 2,000 people because I parked right close to where the people were coming in and out, so they could read my truck, both sides, front, back, everything. I had the manager of Costco come out, and he asked me if I had a Costco card, and I said no, and he asked me, would you like one? I said, sure. He took me in, and I have the executive card for Costco. He said, Bill, called me Bill, you can park anywhere you choose in our parking lot because the people, because I'm flying the UN Kill It 2030 flag with the circle and the stripe through it.
Yeah. The UN agenda.
I put on my truck the walk-in dead in big letters on the top, okay? And everybody's going, what the hell is that? I'm giving them the same shock treatment as the government did with COVID, and they're waking up. I've never seen as many people that basically said, thank you, glad you're doing it, all right? Because my truck is a moving billboard, right? And my brother that's on the band council, Greg, built the truck, the box for me, right? So we're making a tremendous amount of progress. I come home today after another busy day. I get an email from the paper wanting to do a full interview and to rebuttal.
Yeah. Which paper is that one?
That's from the right here. It's Examiner, the Peterborough Examiner.
The Peterborough Examiner. All right.
Yeah.
Hey. Good.
I'm set to do 2 pods, live pods with Trish Conlon.
Yeah.
And-
With Tish Talk.
Yeah,
So
Tish Talk.
Make sure you keep on top with her stuff.
Yeah.
She's really informing a lot of people here.
Yeah, and I've done some videos of my own explaining what Agenda 21 is and how they infiltrated and put Agent Orange. Basically, Roundup is Agent Orange, which causes cancer, where they genetically modified the seed, put animal genes in so they can spray Agent Orange on every food that we grow for to consume, either through cattle, through pigs, through whatever. And then we eat it at the end. I explained to them about all the stuff they've added to bottled water that causes dementia, Alzheimer's, and the chemtrails that they're spraying
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
aluminum oxide, and they're poisoning our wildlife. They're killing our trees because our trees are actually dying from the outside in. The trunk itself is healthy, but all the foliage and everything is dying.
Oh, the fish?
Yeah.
Besides all the crap that's going in
Yeah.
there, it's coming from the sky.
We basically caught the city dumping raw sewage right into the water. So we put all that up. Like, we have been on them every day,
Scugog.
you know, and like I said, this is what we have to do as people if we want to rid the world of the evil people in the UN. United Nations is the most evilest, corrupt organization that was ever formed.
And they got boots to the ground right
Yeah.
into municipal office. So that CAO that's not that is actually selected. Well, they're all selected, anyways,
Yeah.
but the one by the UN appointed, they're the ones running the show.
Yeah. And they have an agenda to basically do
2030.
That's right, to follow it. And they got 2050, which basically gets rid of all fossil fuel, they think. Locks us really tight into that being able to travel anywhere. That'll be super full control. But I've got a little bit of hope now, because I didn't take too much to wake up the kids. And when you talk to them about climate change, they go, "That's bullshit, Bill." They even know. But you know what they say? Their teachers drill it to them every day. They say, we can't read, we can't spell, we can't do arithmetic unless we use our tablet. But he said that the minute we question the teacher, they send us to the office.
Baghdad, the political advisor to the Prime Minister, Soban Malajiyad.
Olga.
Olga, yeah. And this is world.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, this is worldwide. This isn't just in Canada. This is in every country that signed on to the UN. They're teaching the same stuff.
Robert has his hand up.
Sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Robert, did you want to chime in for something? I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, just a couple things. Last Tuesday, Sheila had a POG meeting in Orangeville. There was over 100 people came.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I honestly think people are starting to wake up and are paying attention. They're sick
Yeah.
and tired of what the government's been doing to them. High inflation, high food costs, high everything, you know, and more taxes. Like, you turn around, gas goes up 13, 14 cents a liter.
Yeah.
You know,
That was a
food,
biggie.
That
food
was a
goes up,
kick.
you know,
That's
and
gonna hurt everyone.
yeah, and then Trudeau comes out with his BS budget to end all, trying to convince the millenniums that I'm going to be able to afford a house. And everybody now is starting to see through. But the problem is they got to see through them all, because the guy on the conservative side ain't any better than Trudeau, because I bribed him with $1,400. So, and he took the money, which he's not.
Well,
supposed
there's 9 people running in the by-election here now.
to. Yeah.
I don't even know them all. Yesterday was the last day for them to sign up for the provincial. And like the Tory guy, he used to be a liberal. Now he's running for the Tories. It's just crazy. Anyway, that maybe that guy, I don't know who it was. I didn't bother to push it. He contacted me through my Facebook log group, and he said he had a bunch of dirt on you guys. I said, okay, well, that'll be interesting to see how that proceeds. And I don't even remember what the comment was, but we kind of vet people when they come in, like you are now on the website. And when I put my response on there, the next day he pulled his down.
Yes.
He was like alluding, "Oh, we're going to get federal money if we can dirty up you guys and get it out to the MSM
Oh, yeah.
mainstream media people." So I,
Yeah.
I didn't discourage him. I just said, oh, well, that'll be good. Let's see a sample. And that
Mhm.
was silence.
Yes,
So that's the end. That was the end of it. That was about three or 4 weeks ago.
I know.
Anyway,
We've been
that's
on,
all I. That's all,
yeah. Sorry, Robert.
Thanks for
sorry.
sharing.
That's about. That's all I. That's all I. That's all I have. Go ahead.
That's all you got for now. We have been on the
Now.
radar. We have been on the province's radar and the federal government's radar the minute we come out and said this is 15,000 square kilometers of sovereign land with no treaty,
Unceded,
unceded, unsurrendered.
unsurrendered. Got
And
it.
we have challenged them to show us they have authority over this land. They have none. So what they've tried to do is do the old routine, and it doesn't matter whether it's liberal, conservative, NDP, green. I sent all my documents and everything to Mike Schreiner. I sent it to the leader, the new leader of the Liberal Party, Bonnie Crombie. I sent it to the leader of the NDP. All the documents that said, help us. Expose all that corruption in Queen's Park. Not one of them responded. Mike Schneider, I phoned and left him more messages. Come on, Mikey, I know you. Let's talk. You find out they're all in the same bed. That's the problem. The only person, and I'm going to be honest with everybody, whether you like him or not, the only person that's reached out to us is Max Bernier. Max is the only one that reached out. Trish has reached out.
Right.
Okay. I went and seen, if everybody remembers, Dean Del Mastro. I went and dropped in on him on Sunday. He was going to be the next bulldog, the next leader of the Conservative Party, but they threw him under the bus and they took Pierre instead and made him the bulldog. So we had a really good talk. Okay. And I said to him, you know what? You got to give Max a little bit of credit, just a little bit of credit. Okay. I'm not saying he's squeaky clean. I'm not saying he's the best, but at least we have an alternative. Okay. Is to vote for people in the next election rather than the status quo. Right. And the status quo ain't working. And it don't matter if we elect Pierre, we're going to get the same shit, if not worse, than what Trudeau's given us. Because all he is a smooth, slick talker. I proved it. You can buy him. $1,400 bought that man. Okay. 2 nice electric brand new toys for his kids. And he took them both. Posed in the picture with me with them in front of him. That's fraud under his code of ethics as being a member of federal government.
Yeah, Craney says we are the alternative. Yeah.
Yes, we have to.
There's no other alternative.
There's no other alternative. Okay, and this is what we're going to push really hard through this whole campaign that we've got. That there is nobody, and I mean this honestly, there is nobody that I have met that is worth voting for other than the people that run for the PP of Canada, right?
And speaking of that, Tish, you're gonna be on Tish Talk,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Hey,
Yep.
that, and again,
Tish Conlon, right?
yeah, it's like we said, these elections are selections.
Absolutely.
Nobody's voting for who gets elected. They're getting appointed because it don't matter whether you're a liberal, conservative, NDP, or even a green, you will sing the song of the United Nations. Because I'll tell you why, Pierre said that he would not be part of the world order. Well, my MP, racist Jamie Schmale, went to the UN in celebration of indigenous celebrations. Talk about a hypocrite. He won't even meet with us because he knows he supports the dirty ones at the UN. And I'm talking the mayor, the CAO, and the council here. Laurie Scott's another one. So anybody that thinks that conservatives are what they used to be, they're not. They're just as dirty. Liberals, dirty. NDP, dirty. So we need to get this message out you know, and again, out west, I don't know whether they have, I mean, they have PP as well.
Well, we'll
of
find
Canada.
out. Anyone on here out west can chime in. Eric?
Like today was the last day for
Probably.
for signing up for nominations to run in the election
Mm-hmm.
under the PP. But you know what? I can guarantee you, if nobody signed up, you'll be able to sign up. Okay? Because I'm going to sign up. I've made the commitment. Trisha's going to re-sign in Durham.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to run in Halliburton, Kawartha, Brock. And I'm going to go right against Jamie Schmale.
Mm.
So for me, it's just going to be pure fun because I'm going to prove to everybody that boy's a racist. He makes $300,000 a year and does nothing, does absolute nothing. He left his wife. He's now a skirt chaser in Ottawa, and he runs to every free meal and gives nothing back, right? But he can smooze you, right? And it's like I said, right? I'm quite a big match for him because I know everything. I've been here longer than any of them that run, 65 years. And we are going to win together, all of us. We are going to take back control of every one of our municipalities. We're going to basically get it done because it's not hard to do. The truth, when you start speaking the truth against these people, they don't know how to deal with it, right? And it's like these guys, we got people inside City Hall and they can't understand. We got a courier guy that delivers couriers to them, and all they're doing is complaining. I'm sitting outside every day outside City Hall with my truck, okay, on everybody's driving by. Then I run and I go down to Main Street, sit at the corner of Main Street for a couple hours. Everybody's reading, blowing. Some guys give me the finger because they don't know, right? But when you can go to Costco in Peterborough, sit there for, I was there 10 o'clock till 4:30, give or take, and I know the numbers that were there, and not one person come up to me and said, "You're an idiot." Everybody said, "Thank you."
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So it kind of tells you at what level we're at. I think people just had enough of, they're really starting to look at alternative news, and this should be another alternative location.
Well,
as
this our Zoom, and I got to thank Dallas. I got to thank everybody, Sparrow, everybody that's doing live Zooms, because they can't stop us. We're talking, we're spreading. It's the truth, you know, and everybody's got a different way to get it done. And that's the whole kicker. We're not all following the same path. We're charting our own paths, okay, to take them down one by one, right?
And so if you ever see someone else taken down or trying to take down another group, you know, that there's the finger should be looking at them. And that's what's going on. So if you see any groups that are trying to take down another group, like, come on, like we should be going in the same direction. Know who our enemy is, you know, and be directed. Like we're directing in one spot, you know, like Peggy, you're going in this spot, and then we have Sheila going that spot.
Yeah.
We've always supported that.
We've all supported each other.
Yeah,
And that's what it's all about.
that's right.
And, you know, it's like, and the same thing, you know, that dirty UN flag that says 2030 on it with the big
2030.
circle, and we all need to be flying it because you know what? Half the people didn't even know what it was, okay, until they're looking at it. And you know what they said to me? They thought I was against the UN, okay, supporting Israel against Palestine. Then the other ones thought that I was against Ukraine, okay, the UN supporting Ukraine. And I've got it right clear. Our whole fight is to save our farmland, our farmers, our water, our air for future generations.
See, whatever you see on a CNN news is just garbage.
Garbage.
It's divide and conquer. It's
Mm-hmm.
confusion, and it's just a bunch of lies.
Yeah. But when you point it out very clear to people, that's your goal. It's to protect for the future generations on this planet. To take away and destroy the evil Bill Gates, the Rockefellers, King Charles, all the oil barons that think they own this planet and they can do anything they want through that dirty UN. and all the way down to our municipalities. Well, it's like I said, we bring one down, we bring another one down. We keep bringing them down one by one. And before long, they all leave and they all are down. It's like, if we will create the 15,000 square kilometer sanctuary for the people, where we have clean water, farmland, we have our own food, and we invite everyone to come in to our sanctuary. They don't know how to deal with that. That never thought that we're sitting here with 15,000 square kilometers of prime land, prime location, and they built everything on it for us. 2 nuclear plants, all the highways, all the infrastructure, okay? And like I said, they're terrified of us now, so they're trying every slander. I served to the First Nations that put up their garbage trying to slander us. I served them notice this morning too, that we're suing them for $10 million in damages, financial and punitive damages. You're gonna prove it, I told you, you're gonna prove it in court, and we're gonna take your money. Because again, we're suing them, the chief, the band council,
In a personal capacity.
on
yeah,
a personal capacity.
That's correct.
Everything we do is on a personal capacity against the people that are doing it against us.
Because we know the whole structure and how it is.
Yeah.
As we were talking about the car washer situation,
Yeah.
we know who they're supposed to be working for us, and they failed us miserably. We've called them all out on it.
Yep.
We've asked them to come to the table, and that has never been resolved. It never came out. We've opened the olive branch to speak to them, to say, hey, let's see how we can work together. That has never been resolved. This is just a statement to everyone out here, whether you're watching, share this information out. We do have a Facebook group called Kawartha Freedom Group. We have KLTPA, that stands for Kawartha Taxpayers Association. And we also have a Facebook page, it's the Kawartha First Nation. So yeah, get a hold of us, and there's an email to contact us as well. First name Sue, S-U-E, last name them, T-H-E-M, sue them at kltpa.ca, kltpa.ca. So send us your stories, come on out live. And remember, we do have our work group.
Yeah.
We have the Talkstock. Sorry, I apologize. It's all fresh, right? So it's like Woodstock, but Talkstock. We're gonna be doing that this coming Sunday.
We're gonna start doing it on a regular basis, like we're doing Zoom.
Yes.
We're gonna
So you're here on premise.
yeah,
and
or
getting-
on Zoom.
Well, yeah, okay.
On Zoom, because some people can't.
Sure.
We understand it costs money and gas and whatnot, where
Yeah.
they can zoom in, they can comment, watch the show, use what we're doing, and hopefully learn from everybody else that comes in, like we're doing tonight. The information that was brought out about how to beat the CRA, that is gold, my friend. That is gold, right? And the same thing is standing up with a document that says, you don't have any authority over us. We're totally sovereign. That is gold, So the more that and it's been given to us. This is what's amazing. It's all there.
Well, it's always been there. It's a matter of claiming it back. but the
It's
thing is-
finding it.
Yeah, well, they've been
it's-
hiding it real well.
And then it's using it against them,
That's right.
making them prove that what they gave us is really what they gave us, So on Sunday, I'm going to deal exclusively with Agenda 21 and the impacts that it's done on the world's population, because it is population control. Everything they've done in Agenda 21, Agenda 2030 is just the next step. And then the next step is Agenda 2050, which is total control over the population. Where I told the kids, and most of you likely have ever watched The Walking Dead, that's what you're going to become if we don't stop them. Because they're going to turn off your chip, turn off your card, and throw you outside, and you're going to have to scavenge and eat maggots and ants and find dead rats. And if another person isn't as healthy as you, everybody will eat him or her. And it's exactly where they want to put us. They
Yeah.
want us to kill ourselves and say it wasn't them.
Oh, it's like May. They
Yeah.
have a whole program on that.
Yeah.
And actually, at one time, you had what 2 or 3 weeks to overlook of how you know inoculate yourself, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Well, now it's almost like wasn't it like a 48-hour situation,
It's a regular routine.
and up down to like to 50. Isn't it 15 years old down to that young of age?
Yeah.
So you have a problem with my boyfriend left me or my girlfriend left me. Oh,
You get
I feel so-
depressed.
Next thing you know, you're done.
Yeah.
You're in a hospital and you're dead. Yeah.
And the kids relate. I was explaining to them, the government put in opioids for an addiction to destroy the younger generation's lives, and they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
They've turned them into the walk-in dead. I mean, look at them.
Why? You just travel around Lindsay.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful.
Oh, Jesus.
Toronto. You go in Toronto, there's like streets of them.
Go on YouTube and look at streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I mean,
they're all bent over.
And
That's
look at
crazy.
BC. BC is a total destruction of people.
Yeah.
You know, and they say, oh, we're trying to help them. We're trying to get them. That's nonsense. They want them to die. That's population control. They have done everything creatively to basically stop growth and to limit growth in the world by implementing all these policies. And that's why I'm saying, if we can get this message out to every country and the First Nations and the Native people, the homegrowns in those countries about what their government is evil, we have a chance. We have a chance to stop it, right? Because I believe we can through all of our efforts, because we all have the same goal, right? To prepare the future and to protect the future for our grandchildren, their children, and their children, and their children. Otherwise, what's the purpose, right? You know?
I don't know. This kind of world, I have mixed feelings about this, but you know what? We do have to wake up the people that are really are wanting to wake up.
Yeah.
And so it's called, I always say, the spirit of truth, and not everyone has it. You know, and people are going to be deceived. They're going to be destroyed by the lack of knowledge, and we understand, and that's it is written. And for me, like I'm just gathering. I want to gather the people that really have the love of the truth. You know, Bill, we first met. You know, he was clinging on to. I got this. I really want to expose this. Like, oh my God, I know the truth. I'm like, okay, well, I do too. Well, okay, let's see. Next thing you know, like all this started getting exposed, and I didn't know how. I knew it was corrupt, but
No
man,
idea. Had
this
no
level, it's so evil.
Who would ever think that your own municipality is disposing of human waste, toxic waste, into the very water that you're drawing it for the population?
Yeah,
to
having a
drink
shower in it, drink
Yeah.
it.
Who would think that?
You can stop drinking it, but you know what? Try stop showering.
But where do you go? Where do you go as an alternative?
Well, I go
That's
in the
the pro-
country.
yeah.
See, I'm on a
You
well.
gotta, you got to go back to a well. They
Yeah.
talked about here about forcing everybody to go onto town water and cementing the wells over.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that you couldn't get
And
water.
they're trying to do that to all the First Nations
Nations.
lands.
Yeah.
You know, they want to.
And
You
you
know,
see,
it's just
we're
nuts.
gonna talk about on-drip because on-drip is a really big,
It's-
and it's hard to get First Nations people to understand that they're using you again. They're promising you that you will be the chief and your family will be the chief and you'll be on the band council forever if you just surrender that land. Just surrender that land. We'll look after you. We'll give you the basic income even better for the rest of eternity. Well, if you believe that, I got some swamp land in Florida I'd like to sell you.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, so you know what? How to get a hold of us?
Any questions?
Yeah.
Any comments?
Robert just posted a link dumping raw sewage.
Mhm.
Nice place there, but as I can't upload it file. Oh, okay, so he sent the link. So we'll put that link in the
Yeah.
bottom here.
But they're doing it all across. I believe if you actually go on should we say an investigation of your local municipality and you follow everything around for a couple of days, you're going to find the same thing we found, that they're using the dumps. See, on our dump, when it pours rain, they have a ditch that takes all that toxic runoff and runs right into the river.
Well, you took a drone across the
Yeah,
city, right?
yeah, we
so you
droned
can
it.
you got to take a look at the high ground of the city, and
Yeah.
it's just very natural what's going on. Gravity, if that's true, anyways. But anyways, if shit flows down,
You can't pump it uphill.
no,
boys.
no, you can't. So
That, they
very
tried
easily.
they tried to tell us you could, and I'm going. I farmed for 45 years.
That's right. Yeah, you're talking
I'm
about the
sorry.
trough.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can't. And then I worked for 2.5 years to learn underground, to know how all this flowed. And then I know where all the storm drains that dump into the river, unprotected. There's no filtering, there's nothing, just dump right into the river. And this is once that river becomes contaminated and it will reach that point, there's lots of water all around that you can't drink it, you can't use it, you can't swim in it, it's dead, right? But anyways, like I said, the more people we can get to go and do the investigation and expose it in your own municipality, the more power then you have against these people. Because it's like us, when you put it up, I got a big sign out front, says, the city dumps raw shit into your drinking water, okay? And I get 85 cars a minute by me every day, right?
All right.
But I'm a little extreme.
Follow the honey wagon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little extreme, but you know what? They are extreme, so you've got to use the same kind of techniques against them that they use against us to wake people up, right?
Yeah. Any way we can.
Any way it takes.
And Sharon just posted on here earlier that she's hosting a Zoom tonight,
Oh, great.
and to cover about the POG. So
Perfect.
yeah, the material and the group, the people to educate ourselves. And you know what? We've had Sheila on here
Oh,
of the
yeah.
POG, and expect her to be coming up.
Yeah, we're hoping Sunday.
Yeah, we're looking to have her out on Sunday.
Yeah.
So come to our group. All on Facebook, okay? Kawartha Freedom Group. We put a lot of the information there. Also KLTPA Facebook page. But you'll see a lot of that stuff, and join in. Send us an email. Say, hey, we want to be on the newsletter. I'll put you on a newsletter so we can do a blast and let you know. So you know what? We've come to the end of this tonight. Another Monday with
Talkstock.
Talkstock. There you go. See, I'll
Talkstock.
say talk, you take stock.
I will. Talkstock.
Talkstock. Okay, well, thank you so much. And I don't know if there's anything else anyone has to say, but thanks for everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
See you
come
next
on.
week.
Hey.
Look at this guy.
Da, da, da,
Look
da.
at this guy.
Hey, it's a good grade. You know what? We got to get together. Bring out
Yeah.
the truth.
Yes.
If you don't, if the women don't find you handy, they better find you, handsome, I see. You better find you handy in the courts, in the house.
Yeah.
Teaching the children. All right? Okay. So thanks again.
See you later.
All right. Glory to King. Zoom link for POG tonight. There's going to be a link in here. All right. Glory to King.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
Good show, guys. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay. I'm going to stop.